this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
With no fees or minimums on checking accounts, it's no wonder the Capital One bank guy is so passionate about banking with Capital One. If he were here, he wouldn't just tell you about no fees or minimums. He'd also talk about how most Capital One cafes are open 7 days a week to assist with your banking needs. Yep, even on weekends. It's pretty much all he talks about, in a good way. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank. Capital One, N.A., member FDIC.
Tax season has arrived, and doing taxes without the right help can feel overwhelming. Intuit TurboTax is here now to guide you through it with confidence. Match with a TurboTax full-service expert who handles everything for you from start to finish. Your dedicated expert checks every single deduction and credit to help you get the best possible outcome so you can feel confident you're getting every dollar you deserve. And the best part? You'll see real-time updates on your expert's progress right on your phone while you live your life. Plus, you get unlimited expert help at no extra cost, even on nights and weekends during tax season. Visit TurboTax.com. Only available with TurboTax full-service experts. Real-time updates only on iOS mobile app.
Brought to you by the reinvented 2012 Camry. It's ready. Are you? Welcome to Stuff You Should Know from HowStuffWorks.com.
Hey, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Josh Clark. There's Charles W. Chuck Bryant. That makes this Stuff You Should Know. Right, Chuck?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Jerry, I love it when, we get last-second instructions.
Yeah, and they don't make any sense.
Just save it for the show, guys.
Right, or show that picture on the podcast, the audio podcast.
Oh, goodness. How are you, sir?
I'm fine. It's by all rights Friday, but it's actually Thursday. But it's almost Memorial Day.
Yeah, and we're not. Are you coming in tomorrow at all? No?
I'm not comfortable saying either way.
Okay. Well, I guess that'll be a surprise.
I don't want to get in trouble.
Well, I'm not.
I'm still scared of the man. I know you're not, but you're all like, hey, look at me, I'm 40. I make my own decisions.
I'm not 40.
Yeah. So, Chuck, you're a George Carlin fan, right?
Yeah, the late George Carlin.
Yes, the late.
R.I.P.
Always had the bummer, don't you? Yeah. The late George Carlin. You couldn't be like, George Carlin, he's the greatest stand-up comedian ever.
When he was alive,
like
he was.
The worm food George Carlin. The
dearly departed. Yes, I like him. Why?
I have an obscure stand-up bit that I'll bet you haven't heard of that is apropos of our topic today.
Let's hear it.
So George Carlin had a bit about flamethrowers.
I never heard that one.
He said that the very presence of flamethrowers, and I'm paraphrasing.
Sure.
The very presence of flamethrowers means that at some point, sometime, someone said to himself, you know, there's a bunch of people over there that I'd like to set on fire, but they're too far away for me to get the job done.
Right.
I wish there was something that I could use to throw flames on them. Uh-huh. And as a result, we now have the flamethrower.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy.
When you think about it that way, it is pretty interesting.
It is. And when you start to really look into flamethrowers, you realize just how horrific the acts that humans inflict on other humans can be.
Yeah.
It's pretty awful stuff, actually.
Yeah, actually all kinds of modern weaponry. I know my brother-in-law's in the Marines. He told me about this. I think it's called a flechette, some sort of bomb that, explodes above people and sends thousands of razor blades shooting out.
What?
Yeah, I think it's mainly used for clearing jungle, but
yeah,
I can't
clearing
remember
jungle of enemy combatants.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So some sicko thought that up.
Yeah. We're one step away from the alien weapons in District 9.
Yeah.
Where people just blow up in an almost cartoonish fashion.
Right.
Yeah. It's coming 2015.
Sure. The atomizer or something they'll call it.
Yeah. What's odd is that first person that George Carlin envisions actually lived a lot longer ago than you would think.
I was shocked.
I was as well.
Fifth century BC?
5th century BC, man.
Right. It was a flamethrower. It was a very crude, vulgar, if you will, flamethrower. It was a long tube, sort of like a blowgun, and they filled it with solid stuff like hot coal and sulfur.
Mm-hmm. And went.
Yeah. Ideally, you don't suck in. That would be bad.
No, I was thinking that too. Like you have to suck in the breath before you put the tube to your mouth, or else you're in big trouble. Although that's the case with any blowgun, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Did you ever make those when you were a kid?
No, I never did. I was too busy burning stuff.
You could have done both, apparently.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they would shoot, I guess, hot coal or sulfur out at their enemy combatant.
Right.
Instead of a flame, per se.
Yeah. Which I guess ultimately it would bounce off of their arm and they'd be like, it burns.
Right.
And then they'd just tussle and leg wrestle and shake hands afterwards and go eat a boar. That's how that went down.
Life in 5th century BC with Josh.
But leave it to the Greeks, who were one of the brainiest, most thieving cultures of all time.
Oh, yeah.
They probably got this idea from the Chemites, frankly. But there's this stuff called Greek fire.
Right.
And actually, I can't say that the Greeks came up with it. It's called Greek fire, but the Byzantines, what we know as Turks, were most notorious for using this stuff.
Yeah, and that they think, they're not sure because it was a long time ago, it was a mixture of liquid petrol and sulfur and stuff like quicklime.
Petrol. Mm-hmm. It's British for gas.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And they would pump it out, actually, from a reservoir through little narrow tubes, and like anything that goes from a big reservoir-type system to a small, thin one, it would create pressure to shoot it out.
Right.
And then some unlucky guy would be the lighter at the end of it, and that would be like a real flamethrower, like dozens of feet.
Yeah, as we're going to learn, anybody whose job it was to deal with any aspect of flamethrowing was the unlucky guy.
Yeah, I would say so.
It's one of the more dangerous weapons you can use.
Yeah.
But it was very effective. Number one, since it's oil-based, this Greek fire could be used in naval battles.
Yeah.
Because it would still burn even when it contacted the water.
Sure.
And so the Byzantines mounted it on their ships, these flamethrowers.
Yeah.
On their ships and on the city walls around Constantinople.
Yeah.
And basically just repelled people out of fear as much as, burning them alive.
Yeah, their enemies were really freaked out, I imagine, when they first saw fire shooting at them.
Yes. Freaked out and intrigued. Sure. Especially in the case of the Chinese. See, what the Byzantines had was a single action pump.
You just did the foot pump with, you literally did the bellows.
Do you see that? Do you see that, Jerry? I'm following your command.
Support for the show comes from Public, the investing platform for those who take it seriously. On Public, you can build a multi-asset portfolio of stocks, bonds, options, crypto, and now generated assets, which allow you to turn any idea into an investable index with AI. It all starts with your prompt. From renewable energy companies with high free cash flow to semiconductor suppliers growing revenue over 20% year over year, you can literally type any prompt and put the AI to work. It screens thousands of stocks, builds a one-of-a-kind index, and lets you backtest it against the S&P 500. Then, you can invest in a few clicks. Generated assets are like EFTs with infinite possibilities, completely customizable and based on your thesis, not someone else's. Go to public.com/podcast and earn an uncapped 1% bonus when you transfer your portfolio. That's public.com/podcast. Paid for by Public Investing. Brokerage services by Open to the Public Investing, Inc. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services by Public Advisors LLC. SEC registered advisor. Generated assets is an interactive analysis tool. Output is for informational purposes only and is not investment recommendation or advice. Complete disclosures available at public.com/disclosures.
Hey everybody, get this. LinkedIn has grown to a network of over 1 billion professionals and 130 million decision makers. And that's where it stands apart from other ad buys.
Yeah, for sure. You can target your buyers by job title, industry, company, role, seniority, skills, even company revenue, so you can stop wasting budget on the wrong audience.
Yep, that's why LinkedIn Ads generates the highest B2B ROAS of all online ad networks. Seriously, all of them.
And get this, if you spend $250 on your first campaign on LinkedIn Ads, you get a free $250 credit for the next one. Just go to linkedin.com/SYSK. That's linkedin.com/SYSK. Terms and conditions apply.
The Byzantines had a single action bellows pump.
Right.
To where when you press down on the downstroke, it would push the liquid out, right?
Yes, you get like a burst of fire, and that's it.
Right, because on the upstroke, nothing was happening except the bellows were filling back up with air to press down, to compress, right? The Chinese said, hey, that's really funny because we have a double action bellows.
Yeah.
To where you are compressing air on the upstroke and the downstroke. So instead of your stupid little short bursts of Greek fire, we have one long burst that just cuts you in half.
Yeah. Leave it to the Chinese. Make it all better.
The wheelbarrow, the kite, the hang glider, the flamethrower.
You name it.
Gunpowder. And actually, gunpowder equaled the demise of flamethrowers for about 1,000 years, right?
Yeah, as soon as gunpowder came along, they were like, we're just chumps with fire when we can actually shoot a gun. That's the way of the future.
Right.
And it was, but so is the flamethrower, as it turns out.
Yeah, because it lay dormant for about 1,000 years, and then in World War I, actually right before World War I, the Germans, a very warlike state at the time, were they said, what exactly can we add to our arsenal that is just totally scary and wildly destructive?
Yes.
Let's look back through the annals of historic weaponry and find something. And they looked through and they said, the flamethrower.
Yeah, Richard Fielder is an engineer in 1901. They credit him with inventing it, but he clearly was using old technology as the initial idea, at least.
Right. It's a clever design, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because from this original design, there have been, some polishing moments for the flamethrower over the years, but from that modern era, the design has remained relatively the same, right? It's like a 3-tank design.
Yeah, the Flammenwerfer.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Nice.
The Germans, that's what the Germans called
the
it.
Lederhosen?
Yeah. And it was, let's go ahead and explain how it works with the tanks.
All right.
And this is the handheld flamethrower, which is the one that's, I guess, was most readily used in combat.
Yeah, and it's the one you see, like a guy's wearing these tanks on his back, and he's got the rifle, and it's just...
Right.
Yeah.
So you got two outer tanks, and those are filled with the flammable fuel, oil-based petrol, if you will, like Greek fire.
Sure.
And then there's a center, smaller tank, which holds a compressed gas, like butane, and it would feed the gas through a pressure regulator connected to the tubes.
Right.
And you can take it from here.
Well, this is why I think it's very clever. The butane served a dual purpose. One, it was compressed, so when you open the valve, it would push the liquid fuel out of the tanks into the tube and ultimately in the reservoir in the gun.
Yeah,
right?
the pressure regulator.
Right.
Is what they would switch on.
There is another tube that came directly out of the third tank that held the compressed gas like butane.
Yes.
And this tube went directly to the ignition valve.
Right.
Right?
So it served as the igniter later on.
Right. Because it was the butane that was actually burning.
Right.
When you open the ignition valve, the butane flows to the end, mixes with air.
The end of the rifle.
Right.
Sure.
And then there's there's two triggers. There's the fuel release trigger, right?
Yes.
And then there's the ignition trigger. And the ignition trigger is basically you're operating a battery that operates a spark plug, sends a current, generates heat, ignites the butane. Now you have that little blue flame on the end.
Yeah, that's what you see in movies. Like if you see them
like
traipsing around. Yeah, exactly. You see the little 3-inch flame coming out the end.
Right. That's actually butane burning.
Right.
The fuel hasn't been released. The Hellfire has not been opened yet or released yet. That's when you squeeze. What's the fuel release trigger?
Yes.
And then.
Then that pulls back a little valve plug because you obviously want it plugged, or else you're going to have a big mess on your hands.
Yeah,
you'll be on fire very quickly.
Yeah.
So when you pull the fuel release trigger, it pulls the little valve plug back, and then all the fuel supply suddenly rushes through to the tip of the gun where the flame is, and boom, there you go.
Yeah, and in 1942, the Army Chemical Warfare Service, I think is what it was called. They came up with a little something called napalm.
Yeah.
Which is ultimately a gasoline or petrol, in the case of Chuck and our British friends, a gasoline thickening agent.
Right.
So with a slightly thickened gas, you have a longer range. It carries further because it has more mass or girth or whatever. There's less friction from the ground coming up, right?
Sure.
And it also can be concentrated more easily.
Right.
Right? Mm-hmm. So basically that was one of those real big polishing moments. It went from just gas, which sprays, to thick gas, which sticks.
Yes.
And burns. It evaporates much less quickly, so it'll burn forever, and it's really difficult to put out. And if you get covered in it, you're entirely in trouble.
Yes, you're out of luck. And they would mount these on, PT boats for one. Mm-hmm. Have you ever seen the videos of those things, like cruising down the river shooting napalm into the forest?
Well, I see there's a picture of it in the article.
Yeah.
But I've never seen video of it.
It's pretty wicked.
Yeah.
In
and
a bad way.
they called them Zippo flamethrowers, right?
Oh, really?
Because the ignition system failed so frequently. It's just like on a gas grill.
Would they have to light it with a Zippo?
With a Zippo.
You're kidding.
No.
And that's the other unlucky dude, I guess.
Yeah.
He'd be like, don't get too close to it with his hand.
Right. And so flamethrowers, it wasn't just some guy, where it'd be like a bunch of infantry guys and then some guy on the end happened to grab the flamethrower that morning when they went out, and it's just,
Right.
They were part of a tactical strategy.
Yeah.
What would happen was riflemen would lay down cover fire.
Right.
Let's say you come to the mouth of a cave, and there's a bunch of enemy combatants in there, and they're shooting you, and they have snipers, and you're in big trouble.
Oh, yeah.
All your riflemen lay down fire on this cave so those guys can't move.
Cover fire.
Right. Mm-hmm. To allow your flamethrower man to get close.
Who is highly susceptible at this point because of what he's wearing on his back.
Yes, all it takes is one good shot to one of those tanks, and that guy's gone.
Right, or a bad shot, just a shot.
Sure, yeah, if you come in contact with it with the bullet.
Yes.
But so the flamethrower guy gets close, basically cooks everybody, burns everyone to death in that cave.
Yeah.
Right? That's his job.
Right.
And then after that, the munitions guys come in and explode the cave so it can never be used again.
And that's sayonara.
Yeah.
For cave dwellers.
Yes.
Speaking of a quick death, I've always heard when I was a kid, that, if you were a flamethrower in war, your average lifespan is like 30 seconds in combat.
Is that right?
Well, I always heard that, and I'd scoured the internet, and I could not find anything to verify that. But that's what I always heard. I thought that was an interesting tidbit.
I did read that most people who were flamethrower operators didn't survive.
I would imagine. It's a pretty dangerous thing to be toting around.
Yeah, and they also had assistants because the assistants would open and close the valves on the pack for them. That was their whole job.
It was always a two-man team.
So both of them would usually not make it.
If I was the assistant, I would turn on his little valve and then run for cover and then run up and turn it off again.
Right.
And I'd probably be pretty unpopular with the flamethrower guy.
Probably. And then the flamethrower guy was well liked because if you can take out an entire gun nest of people, then, everybody's going to applaud you and clap and,
sure.
Probably not get too close though because you're going to die eventually.
Yeah, I'd rather be a sniper, I think. That'd be, like I play Call of Duty. I got a PS3 now. Did I tell you that?
No, wow, Chuck.
It was given to me by my father-in-law.
You did tell me.
My stepfather-in-law.
Okay.
And so I got just a couple of games. I'm not like a huge gamer at all. Like I think a Nintendo, like the first Nintendo was the last thing I actually owned. Mm-hmm. But I play Call of Duty now.
I like shooter games too.
It's pretty fun.
But you choose to be a sniper on that?
Well, no, there are just certain levels where you can be a sniper. Like you'll pick up a sniper gun if you want.
Gotcha.
And I always usually kind of just hang back and pick guys off.
Yeah. Especially guys with flamethrowers.
No. Here we go again. Two liberal peaceniks like us. When it comes to like this war stuff, we just get all giddy.
Well, it is. This one, for some reason, I was reading a passage about a flamethrower operator in World War II who, received the Medal of Honor for invading a Japanese, I think they're called pillbox. It was a little gun nest.
And burning them all?
And burning them all alive. And like the guy wrote that there were some muffled screams and then silence.
Wow. It's
like, being burned alive is pretty much everybody's worst death.
I would think so.
It's up there.
Well, we had Worst Way to Die. That's right up there.
And I think, if I remember correctly, burning to death is consistently the number one on like informal polls, right?
I imagine it's pretty painful.
And it happened a lot in World War I, II, Vietnam.
Yeah.
I imagine Korea. This is a horrible weapon,
Absolutely.
But you can find civilian applications for it, can't you?
Yeah, well, before we move on to that, we also need to say that they were on tanks as well. So it wasn't just boats. They used them on tanks. And the design was basically the same. You just had a lot more fuel, and you had, like, piston rotary pumps to get a lot more length on your shot.
Girth.
And girth.
Yeah, the backpack-mounted ones
right.
had a range of about 50 yards, right? Or
yeah,
46 meters.
That's a long way, though.
Yeah, let's have a football field. You don't have to get that close.
Sure.
Yeah.
I wonder who the first enemy that was like, he's got a flamethrower, but we're way too far away.
Right. They were within like 45
Yeah, exactly.
yards. Yeah.
Yeah, civilian applications. Forest fire fighters.
Forest firefighters?
Is that how you say it?
I don't know.
They actually use these when they do the prescribed burning. Like sometimes they'll burn. Well, not just the firefighters. They do prescribed burns anyway.
Sure.
And then sometimes the firefighters do that. They'll like burn a section to cut it off right there.
Right.
And that's what they do it with flamethrowers.
Yeah. Which actually kind of made me want to go get a job with the Forestry Service.
So you could burn things on purpose?
Well, with the flamethrower, yeah.
Support for this show comes from Public, the investing platform for those who take it seriously. On Public, you can build a multi-asset portfolio of stocks, bonds, options, crypto, and now generated assets, which allow you to turn any idea into an investable index with AI. It all starts with your prompt, from renewable energy companies with high free cash flow to semiconductor suppliers growing revenue over 20% year over year. You can literally type any prompt and put the AI to work. It screens thousands of stocks, buys one-of-a-kind index, and lets you backtest it against the S&P 500. Then you can invest in a few clicks. Generated assets are like ETFs with infinite possibilities, completely customizable and based on your thesis, not someone else's. Go to public.com/SYSK and earn an uncapped 1% bonus when you transfer your portfolio. That's public.com/SYSK. Paid for by Public Investing. Brokerage services by Open to the Public Investing, Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services by Public Advisors, LLC, SEC registered advisor. Generated Assets is an interactive analysis tool. Output is for informational purposes only and is not an investment recommendation or advice. Complete disclosures available at public.com/disclosures.
Hey everybody, get this. LinkedIn has grown to a network of over 1 billion professionals and 130 million decision makers. And that's where it stands apart from other ad buys.
Yeah, for sure. You can target your buyers by job title, industry, company, role, seniority, skills, even company revenue, so you can stop wasting budget on the wrong audience.
Yep, that's why LinkedIn Ads generates the highest B2B ROAS of all online ad networks. Seriously, all of them.
And get this, if you spend $250 on your first campaign on LinkedIn Ads, you get a free $250 credit for the next one. Just go to linkedin.com/SYSK. That's linkedin.com/SYSK. Terms and conditions apply. Did you hear about this car thing in South Africa? Theft deterrent system that burned you?
No.
Yeah, I don't think it's still around. This is like 12 years ago. And a South African man invented, it was called the blaster, and basically it would shoot a man-high fireball, is what they called it.
What?
At you if you tried to break in to the car for a mere 3,900 rand, which is about $650. And this was $1998. That was like $650.
Okay.
And it would squirt liquefied gas from a bottle in the trunk through two nozzles located under the front door, and the rub is you couldn't turn one on and turn one off. So if a guy was breaking in to like the driver's side door, it would still shoot fire out of the passenger side.
Wow.
To whomever might be walking by, unluckily on that side.
That's an invention that wasn't fully thought through.
I would think so, but apparently he sold a bunch of them at the time, and he said it's non-lethal, but it would definitely blind a person, is what he said. And keep them from stealing your car.
Yeah, because they can't see cars any longer.
Right, exactly.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Way to go, South Africa. Lastly, Chuck, fire breathers, they're a form of, they follow the basic principles of flamethrowing.
Yeah.
By drinking kerosene.
Yeah.
There you go. If you want to learn about fire breathers, we have an article on them. If you want to learn more about flamethrowers, and before you send us a listener mail, we are aware of flamethrower exhaust systems. We've both seen Grease before.
Yeah.
You can type any word you want to into the handy search bar at howstuffworks.com. It'll yield something interesting, I guarantee you that. So, Chuck, listener mail?
Not quite.
Oh, okay.
Well, we got to do our quick plugs. We're going to do a little quicker this time, though, because we take like 10 minutes to do our New York plugs and everything.
New York. We're going to be at the Knitting Factory in Brooklyn on June 7th from 5:30 to 7:30. We're having a happy hour for Stuff You Should Know fans.
Come with your elbows prepared to be rubbed.
Stay Wednesday, June 9th for a trivia night to be determined.
Not TBD, my friend. We have a location and a time. It is at the Bell House in Brooklyn, New York. And show up at about 6:30, and trivia will start at 7. And this one is 18 and older. 18 to get in, 21 to drink. And if you're showing up alone, that's fine too. Just join up with some people when you're there and form a team and make some new friends. Come to one or both.
Yes. And then lastly, Coed and Kiva, man.
Yeah, Coed Cooperative for Education, who we went to Guatemala with. If you like their bag, which is a pretty cool bag, you can donate a measly $5 with your little cell phone there.
Yeah.
Text the word STUFF, STUFF, to 20222, and text and data rates may apply, and it's going to be added. Little $5 donations going to be added to your bill.
Right. When you text STUFF, you'll get a reply text saying, "Are you sure?" And you just text back yes, and there you go, $5.
Right.
To help out Guatemalan kids learn to read. And Kiva. We haven't thrown much love to our Kiva team lately, but we should, because, as everyone knows, we hit the $100,000 mark, right?
Oh, like nothing.
In March, I believe March 19th. And since then, our moderators on our Kiva team, Glenn and Sonia, threw down the gauntlet pretty much immediately and said, let's get to $250,000.
Yeah, man. That'd be awesome.
We are on track right now by Glenn and Sonia's estimate to hit the $200,000 mark around August 26th. Well, actually, we want to hit $250,000 around August 26th.
Is that the deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we need to step it up a little bit. If you want to join the Stuff You Should Know Kiva.org team, you can go to www.kiva.org/team/Stuff You Should Know and sign up and get a warm feeling in your heart when you donate. And remember, this is micro-lending, so that money actually comes back to you. It's repaid.
Yeah, and if you have a cold heart, you can actually even pull your money back out and get it back if you want.
Yes.
But it's more fun to reloan.
It totally is.
It really is.
All right, so there you have it.
All right, so listener mail, my friend. I'm going to call this, I love this dude, and his name is Guy.
Okay.
And not as in, hey, Guy. His real name is Guy.
I gotcha.
Guy from San Francisco says, guys, just listen to the Art Theft podcast. And, by the way, we do know about the Paris heist that just went down.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Yes.
Very intriguing for future monetary incentive. Neither here nor there. However, I have a little habit that I thought I might like to share that loosely pertains. I have never stolen art knowingly. However, I do frequently, and I'm subjected to, I travel frequently, and I'm subjected to much distasteful art. Guilty of being a budget traveler, so there's the rub. But to amuse myself, I like to take the horrible art off the wall, take it out of the glass and frame, and add the ever so slightest detail.
This guy's wonderful.
He does this in hotels. A chicken in the corner by the barn, a seagull flying over the crest of a wave, a beer bottle and fishing pole by the babbling brook. I do it in every hotel, motel, hostel, bungalow, you name it, I will stay there and I will change the art.
They have art in hostels now?
Probably not. It makes me chuckle to think that maybe one day someone will be staring at an awful hotel painting and look closely and notice one of the gallant cowboys has a tin of Skol by his left boot heel. So, if you stay in cheap hotels, keep your eyes out, people. You may have stayed where Guy from San Francisco has stayed. Just don't turn on the black light. That's all I have to say.
That's awesome. That is awesome, man. I love to hear of people doing cool stuff.
Vandalism?
Yeah. But it's vandalism with like an eye toward coolness.
It's fundalism.
Right. Well, if you're a starving artist who shows your work at the Airport Hilton Conference Room, we want to hear from you. Just send us an email to stuffpodcast@howstuffworks.com.
For more on this and thousands of other topics, visit howstuffworks.com. Want more How Stuff Works? Check out our blogs on the howstuffworks.com homepage. Brought to you by the reinvented 2012 Camry. It's ready. Are you?
The NFL playoffs are here, and Wild Card Weekend powered by Verizon is in full swing.
Man, it all comes down to this.
The stakes are high, hopes are higher, and everything is on the line.
My goodness!
It's win or go home, and every moment counts on the road to Super Bowl 60.
It's a touchdown!
Wild Card Weekend powered by Verizon. Through Monday. Visit watch.nfl.com for the full schedule.
Pro drivers live for race day, but for small business owners, every day is race day. That's why going pro with Lenovo Pro matters. One-on-one advice, IT solutions, and customized hardware powered by Intel Core Ultra processors keep your business on the right track. Business goes pro with Lenovo Pro. Sign up for free at lenovo.com/pro.
Lenovo. This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.